I'm from London and was in New York City for the summer 3 years ago. My father is a criminologist and travels a lot for work. He essentially travels to different police departments around the world and helps them capture murderers, rapists, pedophiles, and other very dangerous individuals. He was very excited to help the police here in America. The first 3 weeks were a lot of fun. I had a wonderful time shopping in Times Square, going to shows, meeting new people, and exploring everything the city has to offer. We also lived in an extended stay high-rise right in the heart of the city and had access to all the tourist destinations. I made a new friend, Tammy, with whom I would go out with. She was a lovely girl and lived right next door with her family, who was in town for business as well. One Thursday night, Tammy and I decide to go salsa dancing and enjoy ourselves at a club. Before we walk in, we notice a red truck directly across the street from us with two men distinctly watching the club. We're having a great time dancing with each other when we're approached by a man. I'll call him Ryan. Ryan was probably 6'5" and 220 plus pounds of solid brick muscle, very attractive and charming. He asked us a bunch of questions. Where do we live? Go to school? Do we have boyfriends? I'm a girl, by the way, listener, but I should probably have put that in like an annotation. Just breaking the flow of the story now. He asked us a bunch of questions. Where do we live? Go to school? Have boyfriends? Family in the area? I didn't answer, as this guy had a very negative aura that told me to stay away. Tammy, on the other hand, made conversation with him and started flirting. I noticed Ryan glancing towards another man at the bar, giving him an occasional nod. The man at the bar soon pulled out his mobile telephone, turned around, and started speaking to someone. Throughout the night, Tammy was dancing with Ryan, while I sat at the bar chatting with the bartender. There was something very off about Ryan, and I didn't like it. The other man sat across from me and stared at me like a predator, timing an attack on its prey. Uncomfortable as I was, I got up, walked over to Tammy, grabbed her arm, and told her we need to leave right now.
Tammy, we need to get out of here. No, Emily, I'm having such a good fucking time. Join in.
She was drunk at this point and drinking shot after shot of tequila. I grabbed her arm and pulled her away from Ryan.
Let's go.
She pulled her arm back.
No, I'm staying. You go ahead and I'll meet you back at the hotel. Whatever.
I did not like the prospect of leaving her, so I decided to stay and sit hiding in the corner to keep watch. I did this for a few seconds, observing Tammy and Ryan dancing, and then walking up to the bar where they engaged in conversation with the other man. A few moments later, I got up to use the restroom. Subsequently, I finished up and went back to the dance floor, but did not see Tammy or the other men. I looked around, checked out all the areas, and then approached the bar, where I asked the bartender if he had seen them.
Yeah, they paid their tab and walked out, maybe 2 minutes ago.
My heart immediately began to pound against my chest, and I rushed out frantically, looking around. Nothing. I ran to the side of the building, which had a path towards the back entrance, and then I saw this in front of me. To this day, I have nightmares about this and often wake up in cold sweats. Tammy is in the back parking lot, away from the other vehicles, right next to a large white van, which has two other girls lined up against the back door. They are all crying hysterically and dressed in what I can only describe as prostitute attire. Very provocative clothing, high heels, and their breasts and ass out of their clothes. The back door of the van opens and two additional men come out. They're screaming at the girls in different languages, pushing them and striking them across the face. Tammy is sitting down on a curb, too drunk to understand what's going on. I feel Ryan may have drugged her drink. I am absolutely petrified as I'm watching this unfold in front of me. Tammy stands up and begins to stumble off when one of the men grabs her by the waist, picks her up, and carries her back to the back of the van where all the other men are in deep conversation. Perhaps this wasn't the most clever thing to do, but what I can describe as a jolt of adrenaline rushed through me, and I screamed the most blood-curdling cry my body could muster.
Let them go!
Silence. They stare at me and immediately stalk towards me with such menacing gazes. I turn around and run back for the club as far as my body could take me. As I approach the door, bright headlights from across the street beam on, and the red truck I noticed prior to entering the club pulls forward and comes to a screeching halt right in front of me. The two men step out adorned in FBI gear, bulletproof vests, guns drawn, helmets, SWAT attire, the whole thing. Seconds later, 3 police vehicles come speeding down the street and pull up to the club. There are cops all around me and they're chasing the men who just turned the corner to come after me. I hear 2 canines barking ferociously, and at this point I'm trembling in fear. A female officer stays behind to look after me, and I'm escorted to the front passenger seat of one of their vehicles. About 2 minutes later, I see Ryan and the 3 bloody-faced men being taken to an unmarked police vehicle. To describe everything in detail would take me forever, but to summarize, these 4 men were involved in an international human trafficking ring. They would charm girls in clubs, restaurants, theaters, befriend them, drug them, and take them away to be sold to pimps in third world countries. The police had been watching these guys for months and went to this location on an anonymous tip. Unfortunately, I do not know the whereabouts of Tammy and the other girls. After going to the police station, I returned to the hotel the next day to find that Tammy and her family were gone. I think about her every day and hope she's happy and healthy.